Okay, welcome to the Cannabis and Hemp Association of Namibia's Voices of Namibia is what I'm going to be calling this series. And I'm here with a brother of mine, Lineekela, to just talk about cannabis. So I just want to make it very, very clear that anyone who I'm interviewing, it does not imply that they are using cannabis in any way, shape, or form. I'm merely trying to get a broad picture of how people in Namibia from various sectors perceive cannabis and what the potential of it is in our country. So Lineekela, can you please introduce yourself and what you do?
Thank you very much, Angela. My name is Lineekela Mwaetako. I'm working for the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, based here in Kunene region. It's a regional head. And what I'm going to talk about cannabis is just on my private capacity, not a government representative, but just my own private capacity.
Yes, great. So Lineekela, in terms of cannabis, from for a lot of us, we've seen cannabis in the communities. For a lot of us, there's only been what we've heard. What do you think, from whatever perception you have, what the potential harms of cannabis are?
Yes, I have been hearing a lot of harms concerning cannabis, mainly through the mainstream media or through television or any other means. But I had really a lot of questions in my mind because I don't really believe what other people say about cannabis. But I thought maybe the harms which are linked to cannabis has to do with other drugs. Maybe people use alcohol in combination with cannabis. But in my own understanding and through the research which I have made, I think cannabis is just a medicinal plant which has been used for thousands of years by our ancestors. And for anything, even water can be harmful, even food can be harmful, depends on how you use it. But why should they only categorize cannabis to classify it as so harmful to people? Those are the things we really want to dig deeper to understand, and to understand this harm which are perceived by those who are always talking about the negative things about this plant.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Very often those harms are not actually, like people. It's not related to evidence. It's a lot of it is stigma and hearsay. What do you think the benefits of cannabis are?
Yeah, according to my little research, which I have just carried out myself, cannabis has quite a number of benefits. I've been following this plan. The countries which legalize cannabis, for example, in the Netherlands or Europe, some countries, I don't know, Africa, there are countries which legalized cannabis. There are quite a number of benefits when it comes to medicinal properties of cannabis. I heard it can treat cancer, it can also treat depression. And I think if more research is to be conducted, there will be quite a number of benefits which can come out of this plant. And I believe we really have to put the negative connotation about cannabis aside and look at it critically to find out the benefits which we can get from that plant. And the other benefits not only on medicinal use, but I also heard that it can also be used in construction and in other industrial stuffs. Cannabis is quite a useful plant, so that we were taught to look at it in a very negative way.
Yes, it's a very versatile plant.
Yeah.
So as someone who, who you work in food production in the agricultural sector, and you work very closely with the communities, especially in the rural areas of Namibia, how do you see cannabis as an asset in Namibia, that we can utilize the plant as an asset for Namibia? How do you view that?
Yeah, because there are quite a varieties of cannabis, and I think there is one called Hemp, which is actually good for fodder. And when you look at our country, we are it's a dry country, and climate change is a reality. And farmers, they want to diversify and they also want to produce. But the problem is when we look at fodder, like in Kunene, fodder is not sufficient. And if farmers are encouraged to plant crops like hemp, which is a cannabis family, to produce fodder for their livestock, it could save quite a number of animals. And I mean, in the process, farmers can make profit out of that as well by selling it. It's also not only for fodder, but also for shelter. Yeah, when you look around, our trees, people have been cutting quite a number of trees and we are deforested. So when cannabis is, it is used as a building material, it can really help people to build their houses through those materials. And in agriculture, we think more research has to be done instead of just talking about negative part of cannabis, but we should also focus on the positive side and also look at other countries, how they are doing when it comes to farming with cannabis and also to treat animals, because most of the drugs we are using today is only these synthetic drugs, but if animals are also treated with plant-based medicine, it could also be one of the healthiest way of dealing with animals healthy.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the other thing. There's a lot of evidence, research evidence around this plant, but also anecdotal evidence. And I think this is what we need in Namibia. We need, creative solutions that are sustainable, for food security, and for job creation and industry creation, especially in the rural areas.
Yes. Because the other time, 2 weeks ago, I was in a workshop discussing about indigenous plants. And I know people were so scared to talk about cannabis because it's illegal. And even myself, I couldn't bring that topic. Yeah, but I think but when we were outside, I shared with some of the participants to that workshop, and people really show interest in cannabis as well.
Yeah, because especially, I think when people think about cannabis, they just think dacha, smoking, and they don't understand the plethora, the multi-sector potential that there is with this plant, especially like you said in Namibia, even if we're talking about animal fodder, we have so much livestock, that we can feed from this plant. And as well, we have a huge housing crisis, and if we can build houses for people that are low impact on the environment, that don't cost a lot of money, that are sustainable and are healthy to live in as well, this already is a huge asset to our country.
Yes. I think we need really to focus on this type of researches, because the whole problem with us, we tend just to believe anything we are told, and we don't do our own research to come up with broad understanding on a certain subject.
Yeah, I totally agree. More research is needed. Okay, Lineekela, our time is up, but thank you so much. I love our chats that we always have. It's always very informative and mind expanding. And I'm hoping to, again, seeing how the policy will change and seeing what potential there is in Namibia. I'm hoping that we can come together, in the next few months and have another discussion about this.
Thank you very much, Angela. I'm always there to support.
Thank you, brother. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I just want to reiterate, anyone that I'm interviewing is just to gain a more broader perspective and to show what people's opinions are, you know, especially people like you that have special expertise, you know, in various fields where cannabis can become an industry. So it does not imply that the people that I interview are utilizing cannabis.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Thank you, Lineekela.
People shouldn't look at it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.